Hey, what's going on people? It's SGZ here from the Spartan Game Zone, and in this video I'll be counting down the top 5 legendary weapons that can only be found in Borderlands 3's newest game mode, Arms Race. These guns can drop anywhere within the mode, including off the final boss or even in vending machines, but also have increased chances to drop from certain chests. And I'll be showing you which chest that is, as well as explaining what each gun does and letting you know how you can maximize their damage. If you enjoyed the video, I'd appreciate it if you could drop a like, or hey, maybe even subscribe. And if you want to support me further, are on PC and are interested in buying this DLC or any other Borderlands related content, you can do so at nexus.gg/SpartanGameZone. Any purchase made here will directly support the channel, as I get a small cut of the sale, and that cut has been doubled until the 31st of December. And let's crack into it. We begin this countdown with the Dark Army, a TD or SMG which can come in every element, and out of all the chests can only be obtained from this one. The Dark Army fires at a nice pace and deals good damage, but where it really comes into its own is when the whole squad is united. While equipped, an army of drones in its likeness will hover around you and target whatever you are shooting at. Each reload you perform will increase their damage and grant them the elemental damage type of the parent weapon for a short time. When that time is now, the Dark Army gets a big boost to its damage, peaking at a 300% damage increase of what you see on the card. Because there's 3 other guns. To reach its damage ceiling and stay there, you want to be reloading constantly, so someone like Zane, who can expend their ammo quickly, will ensure it's always there. It does come with quite a range of damage numbers between 5 and 9k, so look for one with a boost to weapon damage. Overall, it's a good gun, especially if you find yourself to be a little lonely from time to time. At number 4 is the Critical Thug, a powerful explosive shotgun that you can find in this chest, as well as get from a world drop. The Critical Thug is a non-elemental torque weapon with a trait from Jacobs, and fires a single projectile per shot which travels in an arc. It's a thug in every sense. It doesn't just steal your lunch money, it takes your house too. It supports a massive critical bonus at 200%, and you're rewarded even further when you hit them, thanks to its Jacobs-like effect, which causes the same damage to ricochet to every single nearby enemy. Oftentimes you'll land the perfect shot on one enemy and see the others around them disintegrate or even disappear. Its splash damage radius is also huge, and its damage and radius can be amplified if you run a splash damage modes build. There's no doubt it shines best on her, especially when you couple it with the 390 anointment, which will have you one-shotting things for days, but it's also good on flak too. When fully stacked with all the good stuff, it can take down Trant in a single shot, which I definitely didn't expect. Just lucky Mum had the camera. Moving on to number 3, and it's the Boogeyman, a scary monster of a weapon that hides in children's closets. And you can also find it here in this chest. The Boogeyman is an elemental blood-off sniper rifle that can come in all of the flavors. It fires at an incredibly high rate with a high chance not to consume ammo, and also deals splash damage. That's a great combination, and you certainly feel it when you're using it, especially when you're on modes who will literally never run out of ammo. And she can also do a great job of enhancing its damage. It also has a chance on kill to spawn the spirit of the Boogeyman, who will seek out and punish your enemies. The spirit has its own agenda and will often banish numerous enemies to the Shadow Realm whenever it is called upon. Because of its high chance to not consume ammo, its lifetime is extended beyond a typical sniper's, and it also makes great use of a consecutive hits anointment. In second place is the Tizzy, a COV pistol that can come in any element and has an increased chance to drop from the chest that you can find right about here. The Tizzy is simply incredible. It's an absolute monster, taking the raw damage of a Monarch and squeezing that into a tiny package. If you look at the card, there's not much special there, but when you hold down the trigger for the first time, this thing launches an unreal savagery of bullets. Its fire rate grows the longer you hold it down to an unfathomable level, and rides that overheat line for ages until you expend nearly 300 rounds. It'll just blitz through anything and anyone. Whoever you have your sights on, the Tizzy will make short work of them. It is a COV gun though, and they're not the best when it comes to longevity, and the Tizzy is no exception. It will consume 2 or 3 rounds depending on the version, and it doesn't really matter which one you pick up, as they will both empty your mag like lightning. That's not for some heavy DPS though, making the Tizzy a boss dropper above all else. We'll have them crashing down before they even know what's hit them. Before number 1 is revealed, let's cover some honourable mentions, the first one being the trick shot, which out of all the chests can be found in this one. The trick shot is pretty much the Flood but with higher base damage and a smaller magazine. I say that because it's pretty much a rapid firing fully auto Jacob's pistol, and that's what the Flood is. When you successfully land a shot, the trick shot will expend the rest of its magazine quickly, straight into the heart of your enemy, as though you needed to prove you could aim before it will actually let you deal some damage. That damage is good, it's solid, and after landing that first shot, the barrage that will soon follow is enough to finish off many enemies. It's probably best on Flak because of its ability to hit crits, but the trick shot will work perfectly fine with other Vault Hunters too. Another honourable mention is the Hotfoot Teddy, an assault rifle manufactured by Torg, which out of all the chests can be found in this one. If you ever wanted to feel what it's like to wield a heavy duty flamethrower, then the Hotfoot Teddy is the gun for you. Holding the trigger down will cause a wide flame to burst from its barrel and barbecue whoever is engulfed in it. Each time you find your target, the Teddy will lock onto them and chain another burst of flames towards the nearby enemy. The longer you hold down the trigger, the more damage it'll deal, peaking at nearly twice its standard damage after a few seconds. To make use of that, you want to have a way to regen ammo into its magazine. It's currently best on Flak, who can do that with ease, and also have each burn mark count as a critical. On him it's great while mobbing, but other players don't get that crit bonus because the flame often locks to their feet. Either way though, if you run Flak and want to fry up a group of bad guys, then this is the gun for you. The last honourable mention I have for you is the Firefly, a strange pistol made by Vladoff, which can be obtained from this chest in the Stormbind complex. The Firefly always comes in fire, as I suppose you'd expect, and has a low magazine size and an unusually low fire rate for a Vladoff gun. What's also unusual about it is its unique effect, which causes baby fireflies to hatch within the flesh of your enemies. Those baby fireflies are hungry and will burst out and feed on anyone standing nearby. You can see the swarm as it seeks out their prey, and the damage they deal is good. The only downside to its effect is the delay in it. Although it'll deal high damage, the fireflies take a while to hatch and feed on others. To make the most of that, you just need to change your playstyle and get used to filling your enemies with firefly hatchlings before changing to another. Once everyone has their fair share, you can sit back and watch as the gun's offspring goes to work. Number 1, we're here, we've done it, and who's on the throne? It's the Plasma Coil, a unique melee 1 SMG which, like all of these guns, can be found anywhere in the Stormbind complex, but does have an increased chance to drop from this chest. The Plasma Coil deals heavy damage with a large magazine, and always comes with shock and radiation elements which you can switch between. After fully charging, it rails off rapid burst firing rounds that tear right through your opponents. Each burst is packed with 16 heavy hitting projectiles that your enemies just won't see coming, and often it will end them in just one release. The damage it deals is insane, and the fury held in each burst is something to behold. To add to that, it also deals splash damage, which is something most can leverage. And it's definitely a great gun on her, but all Vault Hunters will find mountains of joy harnessing the fourth state of matter with the Plasma Coil. So that's all for this video. I hope you enjoyed it and learned of the 5 best legendary weapons found in Arms Race, Borderlands 3's newest game mode. If you did, consider dropping a like or subscribing, and I'll catch you in the next one.